Hey guys, I'm here with Doug from Sureway Transportation, and we're going to be talking actually live today here, right next to me in my new studio here that we built, and we'll be talking about Sureway Transportation. I want to start a little bit by telling people about what I'm doing here. So for the last 3 weeks now, what I've been doing is I've been talking to local business owners here in Southwest Florida about their businesses, allowing them to kind of showcase their products, their services, their businesses, and also, telling us a little bit how they are adapting to the current situation that we're facing. It's been very good, very well. It has been successful. A lot of businesses have suggested that it has helped them. So I want to continue doing this, and it's kind of my way of giving back to the community. I have, a big following on Instagram. A lot of people here from the Naples area, so I thought it would be, my way of giving back to the community, talking to local business owners, and allow them to kind of showcase a little bit of who they are and what their business is. So I have the pleasure of having Doug with me today. Doug, if you can kind of tell us a little bit about you first, who you are, where you're from, and how'd you end up in Naples. So.
Sure. Name is Doug Creech, originally from Dayton, Ohio, born and raised out of Fairborn, Ohio. And what got us down here after college was retail management. Tried that out for a while, and then jumped into logistics. Shortly hereafter, we got down to Naples, Florida from that logistics company. And then I started in with Sureway Transportation a little over 2.5 years ago now. That's the biggest thing for us, is jumping into this logistics world going on right now. A lot of things have changed, so it's interesting to see what's going to happen next.
Awesome. And, so you've been here in Naples for about 4 or 5 years now?
As of right now, it is this month 8 years.
8 years, okay.
8 years.
That's a little bit longer than I thought.
Yeah.
And a little bit longer than I've been here too. So, and how did you get into the logistics business before you even get into, about Sureway? But how did you get into what kind of drew you into the logistics business?
Believe it or not, logistics wasn't even a thought. I came from retail management, jumped into some operational managerial positions, and heard about logistics and was interested. My dad is a truck driver, so I told myself in the very beginning, don't ever get involved in trucking or logistics. Here I am. And basically just found out some information on a company, jumped in, learned from the ground from this company, and then jumped into Sureway, taking over my own agency, my own business. So that's how it started for me.
Awesome. And then if you could tell us a little bit about Sureway and what are the products and services that your company offers, and where do you do all the transportation to different parts that you covered, and a little bit more about the company as well.
Okay. Sureway Transportation alongside ATS, which is Anderson Trucking Services. We partner up. ATS is our fleet side of the business. Sureway Transportation is the brokerage side. How we operate is we use Sureway Transportation using all ATS trucks all over the United States. We have authority in all 40 inland states, including in and out of Canada. We do have cross-border for Mexico. We have LTL services. LTL services basically are in-house logistics. It's a, what I call that, barter-free logistics. So if you have any LTL type of freight, dry, we are able to do in-house quoting and volume pricing. So that way it saves a deal. There's no posting, there is anything like that. It is all in-house trucking. That is also on all full truckloads, refrigerated or dry. Sureway ATS has been in the business for over 65 years. Sureway has started around 32 years ago. So we've been around. We are a Fortune 500 company. We are top 28 in the top 200 brokerage firms in the United States. So we know what we're talking about. And if you have any questions regarding any type of freight, doesn't matter if you're a Fortune 500 company or you're small mom and pops and you have just a couple pallets you need to ship, that's something we can also handle.
Okay. Obviously here in Florida, we have a lot of people that, live here, but they also have homes in the north, or vice versa, right? And you can see this by driving on the streets. There's always a lot of trucks, and not only cars, but a lot of trucks, a lot of moving companies, and you have a lot of people moving here too. Is that type of service that you would offer as well, as far as?
We do, to a certain extent. We have numerous services amongst the FTL and LTL freight to kind of combat that, to piggyback on top of what you're saying. We do international freight. We do international containers. We do a lot of that at the ports. Currently, that is kind of halted right now because of the COVID-19. So we are having to choose other options and learn how to expand our business currently.
Okay. I see, for example, and perhaps more on the East Coast than here on the West Coast, but when you go to Home Depot or you go to different places, they have signs of people that will ship products from Home Depot or from other stores to other countries. That's something that happens often, that people are always shipping things from here to countries that perhaps don't have the stores that we have here, like Home Depot.
For sure, yeah. Home Depot will actually contract out all of that freight to people like Sureway or ATS. And then we will handle everything from A to Z, basically, with those logistical needs. And the good thing about our company, Sureway, ATS, we're the same basically, is there's one point of contact. You're not going to have 1,000 people to talk to or to negotiate with. You're going to have one point of contact. You're going to have their cell phone number. You're going to be able to discuss anything at any time of the day. It's 24 hours a day.
Awesome. And as far as like tracking, do you have any sort of tracking tool when you're moving cargo or moving anything from one location to the other?
The most vital point, besides being on time,
yeah.
Yes. It's called MacroPoint. It's very basic. All drivers have MacroPoint downloads on their cell phones, and it's a simple ping. We ping their cell phone, they hit accept, just to spell it out for you, and then we are able to track their phone up to every 15 minutes, and it gives us an exact GPS coordination to our cell phones and our emails.
So essentially, you can, wherever they are, you can tag them and figure out that.
You can tag exactly them. It's nonstop. It never quits until you turn it off. And you can have it set up in the TMS system for your customer to also have that email alert sent to them.
So the customer can at any point know wherever their items are. Awesome. The other question I kind of wanted to get to is a little bit about, the situation that we're facing, right? So obviously with COVID-19, every business in general has stopped. But obviously you still have to move things around, and you still have logistics still very important, if not even more important at these times, right? Where things are not always available, and you need to move things more often. How has COVID-19 affected Sureway, and how has it affected positively, negatively, a little bit of both? Okay. You have obviously also gas prices that are down. Is that a positive thing? Is that not a positive thing?
Okay. To start with square one, gas prices. Depending on what type of freight that you are hauling, we are doing both what they call spot freight and contracted freight. Contracted is basically a handshake with the customer, easiest way to put it, that we are designated so much volume per month per quarter, and that is also associated with the fuel price and a line haul rate that is stuck in stone for that year, or quarterly rates, however you have with your customer. And so for those examples, that rate would hurt us if the fuel costs go down, because we're paid by fuel. If we are doing spot freight, of course, we would be able to get a higher dollar per mile for a base rate for the actual shipping container at that moment on that lane. So for example, it would be good for us to make money for spot freight, not so good for us on contracted freight. So that's another example for us to try to maybe find a new source next year, moving forward, to try to figure out a better way to combat the fuel surcharge prices for our customers.
Well, I tend to think that it will probably go back to a little bit higher than
it already is. Right? It's slowly getting there. That's for sure. Yes, it's slowly getting there. To combat COVID-19, we are seeing a lot of freight volume dip. Obviously, if restaurants are shut and a lot of our customers buy or sell to restaurants, we're not going to move a lot of freight. We have a customer that is very slow, and it's a very large customer. So we're having to jump out to do a lot of dry freight. Obviously, the things that are hit are non-essential business. That's just obvious right now. But with everything going on in essential key regions, we are shipping those products. We do a lot of dry goods right now, and we are shipping a lot into New York and New Jersey to try to help combat that. A lot of our dry customers are also changing and making essential products for those areas. So we are able to do a new contract with customers, enabling us to get our fleet of trucks over to those designated areas to help out.
Awesome. And this might sound crazy, but has it happened yet that someone was waiting for one of the trucks with toilet paper or anything like that?
Okay, so to answer that, before you even question, toilet paper, all those essential products that you can't find at the store. Basic reasons why. If they're not being picked up at the port to go to the warehouse to be prepped, to be shipped, we're not going to see it in the stores. And that's just the fact. If you go to Publix, if you go to Target or Myers or Kroger, and you don't see that product, or Walmart or Sam's, it's because it's not available at the warehouse. It's limited supply because those warehouses are not being shipped to from the containers that are coming from overseas. It's everything being stopped at the ports. Ports aren't shipping, ports are being shut down. Other ports are being overloaded with too much product or the wrong product. So we're having to really sit down and designate ships to go to the correct ports to get to your warehouse to get you your toilet paper.
Awesome. And so, when you're just kind of going back and adding to what you were saying, so whenever you're, the products get into the port, where are they coming mostly from? Is it, is it still China? Is that one of the biggest places where things are coming from, or do you see it that we're shifting towards different things, especially after COVID, that kind of originated from that, or it was still very relying on China a lot for all?
China, we have tied a lot of things with China. That is very true. So a lot of product is still coming from China. For a while, though, it was shortened just because of regulations through the government. But as of right now, shipping ports are open to a certain extent. A majority of freight is coming from China. Now we're learning to buy outsourced product from other countries. That's simply for cost savings and just trying to learn the best way possible to get costs down for our customers. Believe it or not, it used to be the cheapest way to go through manufacturers in China to be able to have that shipped logistically as well. Was a cheaper rate for our customers. But right now with COVID-19, that's forcing businesses to really jump outside of their box and figure out what they can do moving forward, and we're trying to take advantage of that for our customers.
Awesome. And then the other question I had is it's in regards to customs, right? So, obviously being from Brazil, I've tried to ship both small stuff and big quantities, of stuff, or even, I'm involved with football down in Brazil, and we try to maybe get equipment that they don't have it in Brazil to send it down to Brazil. One of the biggest battles that we always have is with customs, right? It gets stuck in customs. So It's not about leaving things here, not leaving the U.S. and getting to Brazil, but being able to get out of the port in Brazil. A lot of the stuff gets stuck in there because of customs. Do you provide any services, or is part of the services that Sureway provides also getting the clear to be able to move that thing, those products along to other places?
We would on the domestic United States side. Obviously, we're trying to expand into international countries with our own warehousing. We have enough warehousing within the United States in key areas of the ports that we're able to help with that matter. For example, if you're even stuck at the ports or the customs here in the United States, for whatever reason, we were able to warehouse it right there at that port with no extra charge because we have it there for you. Obviously, we're expanding into that business of going into international, and if it's stuck internationally, then that's when we can outsource it ourselves within our own company to be able to do that.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I mean, I've had that experience, right, of things not getting to where I wanted to, and it's frustrating, obviously, when you put a lot of money into getting to something.
Correct.
It gets stuck in there. So having someone that can at least point you out in the right direction as opposed to you trying to figure out your own.
We can do that.
It's definitely helpful. As far as going back to a little bit of the question that I asked earlier, as far as the business here in Southwest Florida, right? What kind of business are you doing mainly here? What kind of products that you see kind of moving out of this particular area?
Produce and produce and produce. Corn, melons, grapes, citrus, for example, frozen veggies. We do a lot of business out of Immokalee. That ships a lot of product, especially right now. West Palm Beach, we do a lot of melons. Fort Lauderdale, we jump over there. But this is all for customers within the Southwest Florida side. Their main hubs are here, and we ship out of other departments that they sell from. So right now, Southwest Florida is a hotbed for us because Immokalee is really blowing up, and especially into Fort Myers because there's a lot of farm over there that we pick up out of for melons. So it's a hotbed for right now because Florida only ships so much product, so much a year, and then we have to transition to other regions to ship.
And you're shipping all over the U.S.
All 48 inland states, in and out. Yep.
Awesome. And you know, if you're a company out there and you're thinking of, you know, logistics, if you're thinking of, you know, or you currently have a logistic company but you're thinking of switching, how can people get in contact with you and get your information to get a quote to understand a little bit more about what Sureway provides?
No problem. I am available on Sureway.com. It's very simple. Just Sureway, SUREWAY.com. I'm also on LinkedIn under my name, Doug Creech, or Sureway Transportation. I'm also available on Facebook at Sureway Transportation, or even my homepage, Doug Creech. You can reach out to me no matter what. All my contact information is on that, available 24 hours a day. And just to give you an example, if you have brokers, you have transportation already on your file, which most companies do. I understand if you just need pricing quotes, I get that. Reach out to me. I know you're not going to throw the kitchen sink at us. We don't expect that, but we want to be able to put our hat in the ring with you to get a quote in. We understand how business is tight and things are changing. We would like to be that new stability in this unstable market.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, appreciate it. I had one more question that has not to do with Sureway, but
sure.
How do you think the Bengals are going to do this
We're going to rock. Go Burrow. We are going to be amazing. Who Day.
So you're excited that Dalton is gone? And,
I'm excited. It's going to be a new era.
All right,
I don't know how excited I'll be,
Yeah.
but I am excited to see my wife, Lindsay, get all excited.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks again. I appreciate doing this.
Thank you.
It's been fun. It's nice to always learn a little bit more. You know, especially it's a topic that I didn't have a lot of information on. So this is really cool and appreciate it. And you know, hopefully we'll get someone giving you a call.
I hope so too. Give me a call.
Awesome. Thanks.
Thank you.